Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Titanshield Gaming. I don't have a fancy video this time. It is currently 3 a.m. in the morning and Mexis told me about this. This was posted 2 hours ago by Wildcard, and they basically wanted to let everyone know what their thoughts were, probably because we were all, including myself, freaking out and yelling, "The skies are falling, the skies are falling, it's the end of ARK." And they announced this, which is pretty cool in a way, but I'm still on the fence. I'm really still on the fence because I don't know if this is a good thing or if this is a bad thing, because I've run into 2.0 turrets without any kind of nerfing. Most servers that run 2.0, they either die immediately because no one can raid, because it just annihilates everything. They're incredibly smart. They're great. Like, I think 2.0 turrets work better than the actual in-game turrets right now. They just need a subtle adjustment when it comes to damage because they are very strong. And it really just always comes down to tanking it enough for you to rocket run the base. And that's just bad. I want it so that you can still tank, you can still use strategy and get into the bases, but they're a lot stronger. So that's going to help fill in the gap of 100 turrets. So if you have 100 turrets within an area and you're not pulling some kind of shady stuff on the side, like having alliance tribes put down turrets inside of it, or having alt tribes in your tribe put down more turrets in order to do that, because I don't think it's going to be an area effect of how many's in that. And if it does shut it down, how does that work? If it's in an alliance, or can your enemy come into the area with turrets and start throwing them down in order to disable your defense? So there's a lot of possibilities here. It's all up in the air still. We're still got to figure this out. So I'm going to start reading through this right now. And basically, he introduces this Bob Corp electronic defense system and so on like that. And he goes, these are new turrets we're introducing along with these changes that will essentially be bigger, beefier turrets, allowing for people who still need that damage density to populate their turret slots with turrets. So, who still need damage density. So basically, I think this is a direct response to the outlash that the community's having right now. Everyone is really pissed off. They are really angry because they're seeing all the hard work that they've done potentially be utterly and absolutely shut down and destroyed by enemies that could easily get in with tech gear and all that kind of stuff. So I think they're actually leaning towards maybe backstepping in a different way by introducing something else. So they're aiming to have it as 4 times increase overall effectiveness and the cost for these things. So it's going to be a lot more expensive, or 4 times expensive, or slightly expensive. So I'm not quite sure on that. They also wrote that they opted for a new turret because of a few things. It conveys the power of the new turrets clearly without needing to add any new functionality to anything. So basically, they don't want to make a new model. They basically just want to up the cost of it. It doesn't create a sudden need to change the balance functionality of existing turrets in any way. So they don't want to make it smarter like the 2.0. That's a little disappointing, to be honest with you. They don't want to do it basically because they'd have to rebalance everything. So if you had 2.0 turrets in the game officially, you definitely have to rebalance some of the health in the animals, or at least the mitigation, the damage mitigation and so on like that when it comes to saddles and all that kind of stuff. It would be a lot of work, trust me. These things would be a lot of work. Existing turrets don't get a sudden massive boost. So that means you're going to have the original, you're going to have the new ones, no matter what you do. So I would think the best thing you might want to do with the old turrets is put the old turrets further out on your outer defense and then keep the new ones closer in. So you can still use your old ones, just, you know, they're going to pick at the enemy. And then when they get really close to the base, that's when you're going to start hitting them really hard with the new stuff. So that's a good thing. We can scale the cost, maintenance, upkeep of the new structures without inconveniencing everyone who is pushing these upper limits. So this could be a good thing and a bad thing. A good thing is maybe they put it in and it's a little cheaper than they thought it should be. But you know, Wildcard, they're probably going to put it in extremely expensive and then downgrade it slightly when people start moaning about how much resources are going to go into these. Is that if we need to introduce any kind of specific modifications to the new turrets. We can do it without impacting anything else. So they're probably going to start putting in a little better features. Like there's a few mods out there right now who will tell you what they can specifically target. You can target specific dinos, all that kind of stuff. So if there's a Giga, you can say priority on Giga, which means if a Giga ever comes into range of it, all the turrets turn on the Giga and just start annihilating it and then take it down. And the Giga, you know, it'll enrage really quickly if you put enough damage within a certain time. So anyways, he goes on to say, in addition, this stuff, we're collecting all the feedback. We're going to be going along the way to develop a better sense of what exploits may exist or severely disproportionately affect tactics. Now this right here, I do believe they need to do a lot more. They need to put a lot more effort into that. They have game testers. They can get new game testers. They need to do that a lot. And the best way, I think, of doing that is to actually invite some of the prominent PvPers in the community to just basically get on a server, go crazy, have fun, and then they can spectate and view and analyze what kind of tactics they're using. Because I can tell you right now, when people are fighting for something, necessity is the mother of invention. It really is. And it'd be really cool to see that happen. Stego armor plates are gonna have to block less damage from either bullets or turrets specifically, so they're gonna be downing the Stego armor. Veggie cakes may need a more delay. Basically, they don't want to make solid tanks of everything. Veggie cakes are gonna be delayed, of course. I think they're quite delayed now. I don't see veggie cakes being too much of an issue. It doesn't give quite a bit of health that they think, I think. Anyways, adding a knockback to either the new turret or both new and existing turrets to offset specific movement speed, shield, rocket, C4 configurations may be in order. Now that right there is good. I like that. Now it's annoying for the person who is attacking, but if they knock you back for a second, that is so much more damage you're going to take, especially if you're rocket running something. You know, like you run someone in with a Stego, that's a throwaway, and then all your boys run with their shields up and then get to the wall, blow up, and GG, game over. So he says these are the things that we'll be seeing how they play out, what kinds of impacts they may have outside of just a general PvP game. For instance, veggie cakes and Therzinos are a good way to fight the dragon right now. And whatever we decide to act on, I'll make a post about it sometime before December 5th. So, it sounds like they're actually taking some input into what we say. As well as seeing all the videos out there, as well as the streamers complaining about it and all kinds of stuff. Because the community essentially are the people who are really dedicated to this game. They're dedicated too, but you know, they pour a lot of hours in, but they get paid for it. We don't get paid for that unless you're like a YouTuber or a streamer or something like that. You technically don't get paid for it. You get donations and so on like that. Anyways, I also want to take this opportunity to address a couple of things I've seen in comment threads. With the exception of some really large dinos like Branos, we disabled idle animations on dinos on the server. Idle dinos also only tick every 4 seconds, so instead of every frame, idle dinos will, while expensive, are only expensive in general sense. Things like their animations have next to no cost on the server, and we use parallelized animations. So it sounds like they're just going to have complete standstill creatures that are idle. I don't know about that. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I kind of like it in a way, so that if it does, like, you know, decrease the frames a little bit, but on the flip side, it's going to make the game look a lot more rigid. So I don't know. That's just cosmetic. It's not super important. Dino head tracking is client side, not server side. It has no cost on the server, which is good. Like, I want to get rid of that. Like, to me, you can turn it off in the options. There's an option in there. I think it's like ally tracking or something like that. You can turn it off. It's really annoying because I've been pinned in my own pins many times by my own dinos. So anyways, goes on basically to talk about a lot of technical stuff, especially considering CPU threads as well as their servers and all that stuff. And basically what they're saying is, oh no, our servers are running at this and this, and we pay out the nose to make sure your servers are powerful. So they're basically saying we're not using cheap servers, we're using good servers. And I do agree with them in a way, because anything that, okay, this is going to get me in trouble a little bit, but there's a company that gives a lot of free servers away. I personally have been approached by them a few times, and from what I've experienced throughout my unofficial experience and some of the official experience, is that these server people, they offer these servers that are good, but they have a lot of complications to them, like in a sense of sometimes they don't work very well and the response is not very fast. So I don't know what servers exactly they're saying, what they're, you know, what they're running on, but who knows, right? They could just be spitting it out their ass. You don't know. So anyways, I want to keep this super short, guys. I'm going to cut this off now. I'm going to go to bed. I'm freaking tired. I've been on an unofficial building up, and I've been working all day, all that kind of stuff. So I want to thank you guys for first checking this out, and I understand there's no fancy video in the background this time around, but I thought I'd read through this, let you guys know what I think, and hopefully it's a nice little follow-up of the video I posted earlier about me ranting about them ruining basically turrets. So see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.
Fight me, man! Fight me! Oh shit, Cosby! They didn't weigh you down. Let me go. Come up to me! Come up to me! Go! 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 Get him! Get him! Get him! Get him! Get him! Move! Go! You fucking scrubs! The weapons in there.
He just logged on.